You was chairperson.
Well, 6:02, are we recording?
Yep.
6:02, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. And are there any changes to the agenda? Okay, if not, let's move on. And the first one is the minutes of April 15th.
Read the minutes and I make a motion to approve the minutes.
And I'll second the minutes.
So we have a motion by Rick and a second by David. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And Ron, and one abstaining because Ron wasn't here last night. Okay, chairman comments. I'm sure it'll come back. Okay, so we have a motion by Rick and a second by David. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Sorry.
You're good.
And we're live now.
Okay. I admit I did not, I've talked to Dan, but I did not see his report, but I'm sure he included in there
Yeah.
that we had hired.
Yes, it's on the bottom.
Okay, it's on it. Just super excited about that. I think it's gonna be a very good fit. And I think Dan has been pleased so far, so I'm excited about that. And I know Georgia got someone hired this afternoon for the deputy clerk. I look forward to meeting her. Other than that, he said that they're progressing on the booster and that's exciting too. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. And I guess that's all I have as we head into the summer season. Customer service report.
All right, there were 14 customer service reports for the month of April 2026. There was one, a request for how much a turn-on payment would be. There was not an associated address, so unknown district for that one. 3 water quality related, 2 in the north of County Road 600 North. 1 with a unknown district, no address given. I'll say there was half of one related to the lead pipe letter. That was in the historic district. 3.5 in the usage billing category. That's, someone put the lead pipe letter and the usage / billing question in the same report. I decided split it up. Why not? Half went to the historic district and 3 to the north of County Road 600 North District. 1 shut off request in the north of County Road 600 North. 1 miscellaneous one related to landscape repair in the north of County Road 600 North. 1 locate / shut off request in historic. 2 leaks reports in historic. And another miscellaneous, guessing about account closing in the north of County Road 600 North District. It was ambiguous about which were closed. 2 looked to be definitively closed. The rest didn't have any conclusive marks of them being closed, but I'm assuming they are because they're all relatively,
Minor stuff.
minor
I don't
stuff.
have any.
Yeah. Like I said, they all looked at, like I said, a lot of them, it's like, oh, okay, they just look closed. For the most part, just because like leaks, yeah, I'm working on it, stuff like that. Any questions?
No, thank you, John. All right, customer service report is finished. Superintendent report.
I'll go with your leak one. Here's what I get for leak. Have found toilets needing the adjustment of high use. I found 1 softener. And it was between George and me getting this email and them trying to understand their bill. That's all I ever got out of these emails.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. And then there was, when someone coming up. So that was a softener. But they're still happening out there. A lot of toilets. With this meter read, we found one place that had real high usage. and I can't tell you where, but the meter's spinning. And Georgia called them to let them know.
Real
So-
bad college.
Yeah, College Street.
Finally called me today.
We worked on chemical equipment, that's routine. Keeping it, everything tweaked, so everything's working good. Still busy with lead copper rule. We had 2 meters that wouldn't read, we'll have to replace them. I actually took a transmitter, the meter itself was reading, the transmitter part wasn't working. And we ended up carrying cause I only have one. So I carried a transmitter around and got the readings. Did the toilets. Contractor for the booster building, they started not this past Monday, the Monday before. Last week I also looked at the motors and found out they were the wrong ones. So we were buying 2 for that project. And so they actually had to replace all 3. Match the pumps due to the speed, so they had to pay for all that. We're still working on the list of IDMs from the sanitary survey. I was on the website. It's still got 3 dings out there that I never responded when I did, so I'll be talking to them. Start doing the CCR, it'll probably finish tomorrow, so then we can get it printed, sent out to the ones that get mail bills. Otherwise, it'll be electronic. Brent Euler is the new guy. He's got 10 years experience. He did have license, which has expired because of change of jobs. And he'll have to get retested to get his license. He's on his 4th week and doing real good. We have one thing and we need blessing by you to give him 10 years of experience. So it counts like we did Kevin.
He has the 10 years and we'd like to recognize that as far as earning his PT.
Where did he work for this 10 years?
Part of it was with the Army doing filtration. He did a lot of filtration, but it was with a lot of private, after that, private water companies.
I mean, we gave
Um,
Kevin credit for his.
Yeah.
How old a fella is he?
I don't know, he's younger than me.
Well, I didn't tell
Quite a bit.
Those HIPAA questions.
Yeah.
You can't-
No, I know, I can't ask. I was asking him to speculate.
He's probably,
It's an out of bounds question.
Yeah.
at least 10 plus years younger than Robert. So he has a chance to be here for 20 some years.
Good enough.
How's that?
That's a roundabout way of getting me to nowhere. That'll work. It's okay.
He's younger than Ron even.
Well, it was a can of worms here, didn't I? Gee whiz, I asked one question.
Where's he live at?
Right now it's at Rensselaer
Okay.
and catching the interstate. Traffic, if it's bad, then it's 45 minutes. If not, he makes it in 30. But
He is.
that was part of
relocating.
it, was he was supposed to relocate.
He also has a family and
Mhm.
like his child's in school right now up there.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's going to, this is going to have a lot of moving parts. My guess is, my hope is that by the end of the year, before snow, that we would have him.
Closer.
Yeah, he wants to be like out in the, like
He
Berkshire
wants to be in the country,
country, have a
Yeah.
couple acres. And,
not in the city.
yeah, but within a radius of like Delphi, Berkshire to be here quickly.
Like Kevin was.
Yeah. So it just. But I really feel good about this hire.
Are you blessing it?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we grant him his 10 years experience. Work towards his seniority, however you wanna.
For his PTO.
Yep, first.
So we have a motion by David, we have a second by Joe, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Had the AC repaired on the blue truck. The evaporator core was bad. Which is the most expensive part of the heat and air system.
Oops, yeah, I saw that other thing, like 3,800 bucks
Compressors are
or
cheap,
something.
And what's worse is
Yeah,
there's
$3,800.
not that many places that work on
Huh.
it. AC. Cause I checked with Lions and all that,
Yeah,
they don't do it, and it's, the newer vehicles have it weird, freon.
Different, yeah.
Yep. And the smaller shops couldn't meet the new standard, so they can't do
No,
it.
so they can't do it. Where we had the 4 leaks, the repairs have been made in the street and asphalted.
what about, we skipped over the red truck.
I don't know, I'm saving it for last. The red truck needs new tires, AC repaired. I charged it 2 weeks ago, it lasted 1 week. It's a 2011 Ford, 130 some thousand miles. I did look on Blue Book, it's worth about 4,000.
And then you're looking at
That's half.
$4,000 worth of repairs.
Yeah, well, if it's AC, if it's like the last one, that's 38 right there. Tires are gonna be $1,000.
Yeah, so it's, the question is. Do you want me to spend the money? I don't, the person that we've been dealing with on these trucks. Is not there today, so I couldn't get a price. For him, see what they'd run.
And then
We've always had
Can
a real good deal.
Yeah, can we get table this till next month so we can have a price? And then,
Yep. And also this fall.
cause I would be more leaning
Sorry.
towards go ahead and get a new vehicle.
Mhm.
Or the
We have-
loan program of the state,
I was
right?
going, that's the,
QPA.
mhm,
Yeah, whatever.
bond bank.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I was gonna check on that too.
Like David said, yes, table it and I don't think, I didn't think we'd be throwing away good money after bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you're chasing.
Yeah.
That's tossing.
That's my feeling is,
The town is gonna advertise an auction for excess equipment. And because Ron has a truck they're gonna sell. If you feel like you're gonna get a new vehicle, you just don't know from where. You could advertise this vehicle in that auction with. Cost that much more to make a couple more lines on the ad.
When's the auction? It's a good idea.
We haven't set it up
We haven't seen
Oh.
that yet.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you want a quick way to get rid of, easy way to get rid of that? Cause they're not gonna give us anything for trade-in or nothing.
No.
So it's like,
Unless you just, I mean, unless you put a price on it and sell it outright, but then, then you're gonna sit on it for, who knows, an auction, you're probably not gonna bring what you really
No,
want, the brand's gonna bring maybe a third of.
might get $2,000 up.
Maybe,
Well,
yeah,
by that time, you would know what you're given in trade and you could make that your floor.
Yeah.
Cause you're not obligated to
Right.
sell it
Yep,
just because you have it.
Yeah, put a minimum. Yeah, put a minimum, minimum bid. Sure. I agree with that, Dave.
Well,
Just-
I
it's
could have
good.
saved it for last because there's still some open ends. When I get a price, I'm gonna let you know. I'll
Sure.
also let you know what the bond bank. Because the place where we got those has none in stock. So be ordering it, ain't gonna take 2 or 3 months probably.
So we've got somebody that we get vehicles from, there's a.
Yeah, there's the largest dealership of that's an SSV. Which is police vehicles,
Okay.
and you get them for half price.
Oh, perfect.
If it's got a sticker for 48,000, I pay 24. So Both trucks we've gotten good deals,
They-
and it's the state budget too.
Is it, are they new, the trucks? They're new for half
Oh,
price.
they've been.
Yeah.
Brand new
Yeah,
The
okay.
bond bank is a loan now.
is alone,
Mhm.
and so. But that takes a little bit, which gives time during the order process anyways. It depends on what the interest rate is versus
Yeah,
what
I
we're
never looked.
collecting.
I didn't know you were looking at that and I haven't checked them.
I was rushing.
If you got.
I think,
time,
yeah, I think by next meeting, we should have enough
Information.
information.
Have it
Yeah.
before then,
Yeah.
just in case I need to order it.
Yeah.
The blue truck, I didn't feel bad putting the air conditioner in because that's got a higher value to the truck.
It's a 2018.
It doesn't
also,
have,
right?
it's 2018, but it has no rust. Yes, it has a more than 130,000 miles on it, runs good, there's no problems with it. They get serviced at 100,000 miles.
Mhm.
It's when the major servicing done on those. We're not using any oil on it. You know, we just put new tires on it last year. So that doesn't bother me.
Is there a time crunch to say, give Carol the authority to approve the purchase? Or do you think it'll wait? till-
No, because it can be done one-on-one. You know, it's one where we'll get out and see how long, they should be able to give me an estimate of how long it takes to get.
Mhm.
Sure.
That's the big thing is. You know, I don't even mind buying used, but paying the prices on used vehicles are.
Yeah.
And Rick knows that, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm a little surprised it's only worth 4,000 because the price of these vehicles are just through the roof.
My screen today, this evening, when I looked at it, said. It went up 17%. You know, in 2 days, it's gonna say it went down.
Sure.
Because it doesn't give you all the boxes like it used to be, where they put all them little holes. You know, it's rusted out.
Yeah.
The floorboard's starting to go,
Oh, really? Yeah.
so it's.
It needs to go.
Yeah, it's not.
But that was the last one. And that's why I saved it for last, because there's more to it to go on.
Okay, thank you. Financial quick report, register of claims.
You'll note that some of the claims don't have check numbers. I wanted to pass them by you. Ashley doesn't work till tomorrow. She'll write the checks down. If they're approved. They'll write the checks. I'll rerun that page that has the check numbers inserted before I file the report. But the claim value won't change.
Where did I not say anything?
But at the top of the report, there's like 4 or 5, I don't have check numbers.
When we got a battery for the generator, was that like one of our original generators?
Yeah, that's the one at the booster building.
Oh, that one, okay,
It came with,
when we did the town. I know it kicks on, what, every week?
it came with,
Mondays?
it was an added, but it came with it came with Tower One.
Oh, with the first one we did,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, no, that makes sense, it would be
But it
fine,
died out, and
that's why we test it every week.
that's why we run all the tests on it.
A couple of things, I don't know if this is, well, I guess it's kind of the right time it ties into it, is under the Hoosier X LLC, the $1,400 for the shed, is that the meter that was replaced from the one, so we will be getting that back, right?
Yeah. I got we seeded that, it put that in there. We seeded the yard last Friday, ahead of the rains. Finally, it's sunk several times, we refilled it. It's sinking no more, so Leveled off, grass seeded. And so I got the last of the bills and I'm gonna write the invoice so she can send it out.
Does she know, does the person know that they're getting a bill for it?
Oh, yeah, I told her.
Okay.
A bill
At the
for,
She's the one that threw away the meter and then.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that-
Yeah, I remember that. I was gonna ask about like the, so, yeah. Do we?
Yeah, they took our meter and threw it
They
away,
threw it away.
because they didn't like where it was located. or
And like the
something.
looks of it.
Looks of it, yeah, right.
And where it was located
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine, but it's like, you don't throw.
Yeah, but it doesn't belong to you.
But, you know.
All right, so are there any other questions on the vouchers?
Make sure we get a cop, Dan, when you send her the bill, or Georgia, when you send the bill, can you please include us, or, you don't include us on the one you send her, but
Get
maybe send it
send it
separate to us so that we at least
I
know.
can, I can do a copy of what I sent her.
Yeah, that's it,
Yep.
yeah, just so we're on the same page, so if anybody asks or anything, we know.
Yeah.
We can.
We can make it easy.
You know what we're talking about. And the other ones were just repairs, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion.
I'll have a motion by Ron to pay the vouchers,
Second,
and I have a second by David. Are you including the
Escrow transfer.
escrow transfer in that?
Yeah.
He's also including the escrow transfer in that also. So I have a first by Ron, a second by David. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Any opposed?
But one other question, and it had nothing to do with, I mean, we
Yes.
passed the thing, I just wanted to know on the Regions Bank card under vehicle repairs, it says amber white. $526 and another check for
Oh, that's
amber white.
that was lights. Warning lights,
Oh, okay.
but that's,
Real lights,
that's not the company we bought it from.
The amber colored light, amber color.
Oh,
they're amber and white. They're dual colored. Right, like,
oh, so those are lights.
yes.
The flashing
that-
lights that he has on this.
Amber light, who's that?
Well, that's the way I read it, amber white. Let me read the picture.
Sounds nice. Oh, I didn't notice this.
And
I
Mark
guess
Pinnock.
this is
Yeah.
more Dan than maybe Georgia. So the tap fees for May, was that for Quick Trip or something?
That was Quick Trip.
What?
That piece.
We ain't done it to get a bill. Oh, that's just the first ones, so they,
That's just.
Oh. That's just the tab. Holy crap.
they still get another. Because tap fee pays for whatever the cost is.
Yeah, it's a material
Well, we-
time or whatever.
Yeah.
We have a minimum, and then if it's exceeds that, then
But do you do any of that? I need to know that kind of stuff. I thought they did all that.
no, we have it, we got that.
Some of it
tool
we
to
do,
do
and
it.
some of it we don't.
We have a weak communication system about commercial development.
We could do better.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're paid minimum, but they're still.
That's the only one we have going on right there right now, right? On Quick Trip?
Yeah, but I've had, today I've had 2 calls from MG. Quit laughing.
Dan, I'll see what I believe.
Then hard to go.
I'll believe when I actually see some planes.
but you-
No, when I see concrete being poured,
Well, I haven't even seen planes, so.
yeah, even plans I'm not gonna believe.
Not just the-
It's been what, 5 years, 6 years?
It's been a while.
And we added it to the.
It got delayed because that's where the state was
Right.
putting all their stuff when they redid the interstate.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
saying,
I'm saying that for this installation, I have nothing to go on of what our billing might be. All I have is the ordinance that says 2,000 or the 3,000, so they don't know anything different.
so it would be very helpful if whenever he goes up there to do anything, he comes right down here and says, here's what I've done and here's the fees associated.
The people you need to talk to is those guys that they gave us their numbers to tell them what you might be billing them for, because they don't know either.
Okay, okay. That's good.
So not only do you need to tell me what to bill them, but you need to tell them in advance what it's gonna cost, because they have nothing from us except I gave them our development guide. And they have so many people doing different things that
Mhm.
one person's not in
Yeah.
charge of all of it.
Mhm.
And the real estate manager is trying to function that way. But now there's 3 other people plus him involved and
Yeah.
you tell.
And you have
And
those
it's what
names and
time you
numbers?
tell them. Yeah, we've got all the.
Either you
numbers.
can call them or when you have it,
I
I can
got-
call them.
Bill, and I've got Lawrence, but Lawrence is doing tank.
So
Lawrence's tank.
our team signed off on what they needed to give to the county to get their building permit. But we need to go a step further. I said, well, you haven't paid your tap fee and here's the 3 pages that you need to fill out that tells how many gallons, what kind of materials. I mean, for Ron, this is an installation that'll probably have a grease trap.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah,
that-
plus there's, yeah, the town
There's a lot
staff.
of
Yes, the problem is BFNS has been dealing with them and not keeping us in the
Not
loop.
keeping uniform, okay.
So,
So we just need to step up who we talk to when we talk to them, so that we don't get bypassed in their plan and have them looking for their occupancy permit and because I tried to go down, I tried to drill that with the person that I was talking to, is that here's the forms. And we need to have these approved at the very end, and you need to include our men to review this as you go, so.
So I've been in contact with the gentleman in the building.
Mhm.
And he is the project manager.
Okay.
yeah, but he's with Bill. Yeah.
But he's running the whole project.
Yeah.
As
On
well,
site.
yes,
The site.
So is he who we should communicate with?
I would think so.
He won't be cutting the checks, but he can
No,
make sure that.
but he can
you get
pass
the
it on.
information.
But Dan, do you have his name and number?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
I can't think. of
So the
his name.
second time this happens up there, we'll be better prepared, but this one's kind of wonky. for
Well,
us.
no, I'm
Well,
glad you
it's
got
just been,
that.
it's been so drug out.
Yeah, well, it's
The whole
also-
process.
It's like, say, if NGM ever does, they're gonna be the one that's gonna go through a similar process, because Quick Trip is a fairly substantial.
Oh, it is. I mean, they're moving
Yeah.
fast.
Well, but you gotta think about the last business, true business. I mean, yeah, we had Taco Bell, but Wendy's was the one before that.
Was it?
Or Starbucks.
Starbucks was,
They're right
that's
there
small
together.
compared to.
Yeah, compared to this, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was-
mean, it's
that
the
was
biggest
just big,
structure.
That was,
Biggest scope we
Quick.
had up there.
yeah. That was really
I mean,
quick.
this is something that happens here, you know. Well, I've been here for 21 years and
Once
I
a
can count
decade.
them on one hand.
Yeah.
I just wish MGM would, I wish they'd change their name so people quit asking me what casino's going in there. I mean, I've never heard that.
Aren't they owned by
I have no
It's a,
idea.
no, it's a completely different company.
Everybody keeps
No,
saying we're
they're
getting a
totally
casino in
different.
Battleground. I'm like, really? I know.
There you go.
but Even my mom says, hey, are we getting a casino? That'd be all you.
Do you have any other things, Georgia?
So you've already seen the revenue and you got the appropriation, the things that we've paid up through today. And Dan said he'd work with me on how to move money around to cover that. Regulatory, there's a big regulatory expense. And vehicle repairs
Yeah.
Yeah.
and education, there'll be some more expenses in that line probably, so we need.
Oh, yeah.
So is Trent gonna get education money or expenses or
What?
Trent for his? He just has to pay for.
Well, he
the test,
got
or-
some review books.
Yeah,
Study
I gotta get
guides.
the review. It's got review books. We've already downloaded IDM stuff he's going through. And he's also sent me in on some of Robert's classes, looking at the books. It's all coming back to him.
Right. So he doesn't necessarily take a course, you just has to review and sit the
Just
test.
revert you and then,
There is a math review class for wastewater. Do they do the same thing for water?
oh, yeah. So there's some books.
I mean,
Um,
we'll probably pay for the testing, won't we?
Yeah.
But there won't be classes.
Yeah,
Pay the
I didn't
first
think
time.
we needed, yeah. but-
Oh, it's. You pay the state. $30 for each one. Then you pay Ivy Tech. $40. 40. I'm trying to remember what it was for Jensen. I paid for the first set of tests. You flunk it, like I said, it's on you.
That's fair,
Yeah, fair,
that's fair.
fair.
All right, and then the,
okay, so
Recreation.
do you have new topic? Are we done with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to have you approve back pay for Adam. We had a meeting in February. He's on the minutes, but he didn't get paid for it.
Oops.
Okay.
I think I didn't have all of the paperwork at that time, figured we could catch it up, and I just didn't get to it that next time, so please without a February pay.
I make a motion that we pay him the February
Second.
for the meeting.
motion by David, second by Joe, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I did want to introduce Melinda Wood as my selection. Did I email all of you?
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't remember what time that went out, if you had time to see that or not. Two really good candidates. It was a tough decision. But
Good to have.
she's
Yeah.
settling in well. She'll be in after the holidays. She works Tuesday, Wednesday, so she'll be here next week if anybody's in town. Stop and say hi.
So they're both working like 15-hour weeks then, or?
15 to 18, depends on what week of the cycle it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I have reviewed 4 different companies for software. My recommendation to you is a company called Net Results. They are about, what is it, about a third?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Of the price.
It was like ridiculous.
The 2 top line companies wanted about $20,000. They wanted to bill each of Conservancy and Town exactly the same, pretty much. So it would have been $25,000 from each unit for the first year, and then the
Yeah.
second year would be about $12,000 from then on.
That's crazy.
There
A lot
was
of
a
money.
4th company that was still not in the cloud yet. You could still get software that was resident on your machine, and you had to deal with your own data security. That one would be fine. It was the lowest priced of all of them and had some nice features, but the one in the middle, the mama bear one, is all in the cloud, the software and the data. Bill Jones has used that for about 10 years, I think. It's called Net Results, and their lane is townships, but as I told Joe, a lot of the townships are gonna be merged in the next couple of years. And they're not gonna have a lot of their customer base that they have now. They've offered to help improve their product for me so that they can market to towns, small towns. And they come in at an excellent price point for you. It would be about $6,500 a year.
It's a lot better than 2025.
Yeah.
And they're,
And that's reoccurring every year, 6,500,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, it's still about twice what you pay now, but it's better than the other alternatives. It's half what they are, so.
Yeah, I can see a lot of towns taking it just because they're gonna. I think a lot of townships are gonna merge into townships, but also into towns.
Yeah. So,
And Joe, you looked at all this and
Not in detail. I think I looked at them briefly, but Chad looked.
you can look up the software if you want to. I have no problem with that. They all look about the same when you're looking at them on the screen. They
Yeah.
don't look anything like what I'm using now, which is kind of sad, but when you compare all of them side by side, they all kind of look like each other, so that's where things are going.
Yeah, I think having experience with it.
it's a major
That
plus.
doesn't hurt to have someone that has used it,
Saying that's a good product.
even though it's not a necessarily one-to-one fit. I think, they're incentivized, like George said, to customize it and give.
No, that'll be helpful.
So if you want to approve that choice tonight, if you want to have that responsibility laid on any one of you to make that decision after looking at it more fully. I'm super with either way. The only deadline I had really was to make a decision by June 30th, if it was gonna be the BSA, the company that we have now, if we were staying with their product. There was a substantial price incentive to commit with them before June 30th. And other than that, everybody else is kind of, we'll get you on as soon as we can. You'll pay this year. It'll be good through all of 27. So they'll bring us on, put 26 on, same, it'll go through the end of the year of 27, and then in 28, you'll start paying the annual fee.
They're highly rated. Good.
What's our startup?
4.8.
How many reviews though?
No, not there yet. Not there yet.
Jones is the only one.
Yeah, Bill Jones is like, he's our only one, he's real one. Yeah, you can read these.
So-
What is the fee to, like you said, the other ones were gonna be like 25 or 20.
Yeah, 25,000.
But what's our, is it 6,500 just to get us up and going?
Well, it says $8
Yeah.
grand, but 6,500, $8 grand, it's still a third of. what-
No, okay, that's what I needed to know.
Yeah, and that's like, say, I mean,
And that counts though for all next year too, so really,
So.
it's like 1,500 to get us up and going, and the next year the 6,500.
and the
I was
town
trying to
has,
keep them all straight, what was, apples to apples on all of them, and I'll verify that, but I think that's true, but they don't really, they can import data if they don't need to, of course, the price, for our price, they can import all my data, or I can just start this year, type everything in, and then
Yeah.
I'll have 1 year of history when it gets to January 27.
Yeah,
and the town hasn't had a chance to decide, because this,
Chad's kind of on. he's
Chad's
on-
like, no,
Chad's
Chad's,
on with the
yeah.
net results. He's.
Yeah.
He's a thing.
yeah.
I personally think she's done a lot of work on this. I value Bill's judgment. He's been using it and been happy. If he wasn't happy with it, he wouldn't have used it for 10 years
Yeah, well, and also Chad's okay with it too.
in his IT background.
He's
Mhm.
he's a
So-
Bearcat over in Lafayette, so.
I would be fine if we
Professional.
wanted to have a motion and vote tonight. That'd be one less thing to have hanging over our heads.
Sure. I make a motion to approve, the acquisition of net results for our accounting software.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Joan, a second by Ron. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Georgia, for all your work. I know this has been a lot.
Do you wanna, Dan, do you wanna bring up the invoice, or do you wanna, talk to him about it? The one that I laid on you.
No, it's fine.
Is that software, does that take the place of, is it a billing does it take the place of Unilink?
No,
No,
it will import what we do in Unilink, so I don't have to
Oh.
type it again like.
Oh.
But it's
so
built,
it
it's
It's-
a bill
it's-
in
so it-
invoice.
it plays friendly with Unilink, so,
Yes.
okay.
Takes place Keystone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I had asked her way in the beginning, I said, what about these other things like QuickBooks or something like that? And she said, you had to be approved by the state, and there's a list. And those other kinds are not on the list.
And that's the advantage of net results,
If
because
they are on the list.
they have to be on the list if the townships are used to.
Yeah.
Does this do payroll too, Georgia?
Mhm.
Well,
It doesn't do assets at this time, so we would still keep the.
Maybe we should encourage them to look into that.
That's their results, they're willing to listen.
Yeah.
We would like you to think about doing
Well,
this for us.
asset management.
They work hard for the customer, they're willing to listen.
It's required.
Well, that's required, but I think it's one of those difficult
Probably,
things.
yeah.
to do.
but it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Yeah,
All
why
right,
not?
any other new business?
Oh, it's that new business?
The invoice,
Uh-oh.
Bill's invoice.
yeah,
Bill finally invoiced us from 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
the rates.
The rates that he
For
did.
the rate study, I told him I wanted to pay,
We did tell them that.
and he's finally invoiced us for 2,500, which I negotiated it.
Yeah.
In a second. So, signed it, it'll show up on the. you'll
Yeah,
probably
we
pay
got it
it.
all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we already
Did
talked.
you-
I didn't remember, I didn't remember.
At the time, I mean, I don't know, it was gonna be 8 to 10,000 if we went with an indie firm, and he
Right.
actually spent more time and listened to what we really needed.
Well, yeah.
And that's the data analysis stuff that's, you know.
No one else had given us.
He did the analysis and he came up with the,
Rates.
everything for the presentation. He
Yeah.
does the present, you know,
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah, it's
set
worth
up
four
for
times the.
the Annual meeting, so.
And I guess that's what, 24 months, same as cash.
Hey, we can't pay a bill till we got an invoice, so that's on him.
As long as you charge us interest on our money.
That's a heck of a book to build.
Yep.
He still helps me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he has been supportive of the Conservancy. I've been on the board 10 years and he was way before that.
Yes.
All right, so we do not need a motion because we've already approved that
No,
before.
we approved that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was a couple years ago. Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're on agreement yet. Go ahead.
It was the
Take care.
first round we did.
Yeah.
The second round
Oh,
we
yeah.
did.
Yeah,
So.
all right. Any other new business?
Yes, but let me. Oh, Georgia sent out a thing, about that rate study. I think, is there still a committee or is it, did it ever?
Well, the minimum bill, I think I was, since I was out of state last week, I meant to this week, contact Chad again to talk about the minimum bill. Committee thingy, just to see, I mean, cause I know we wanna do it sooner than because
Yeah.
it's related to budget stuff, which is.
Coming up and-
Which is, needs to be happening now, you know.
Now,
Well, I called Lynn Beck, he handles the Clarksville, he's the trustee, plus he handles the billing for. They don't have a conservancy district, but they do still bill for water and that sort of stuff. And he said, and I was talking to him about tenant as opposed to landlord, and he
Okay.
said they have a minimum bill. Plain and simple, period. If there's no tenant in there, the landlord gets a minimum bill every month. If the tenant moves out and doesn't notify either the landlord or the trustee, in his case, he's the trustee, then the landlord's responsible for the bill. If it's $150, the landlord's responsible for it. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
Well, I think it's easier just to simplify it that the freeholders are responsible for bills.
Yeah,
it
I
would
mean,
make it a whole lot easier the way the laws actually wrote. We would have to have it in our writing that says the freeholder
yes,
is responsible.
that's right. And he says it needs to be, and he said that too. He said,
It
we
has-
have it in writing and that's the deal. And so, you're right. It needs to be written, but we had a landlord
Request not to be.
request
it's
not
like-
to be paid, and there's gotta be a minimum.
No, I mean,
bill.
I think, it's nonsensical not to,
Yeah, there's gotta be.
you
minimum
have
bill.
to have a minimum bill because we have to amortize and depreciate at the very least meters.
Yeah.
Never mind equipment,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
I wholeheartedly agree.
It's all there, so.
right.
We have to have, because.
We have to have it
we
right.
have the people in the government came up with this and said, you know.
I'm fine with, like, say, do we wanna go, you
I was
know,
gonna say, do we need to get, what does that need to be in writing? Just a
Make it a
resolution?
legal document that says, you know.
Do they have to sign it or? is-
No, I don't think so. I think it
You
just
guys
needs to
have
be,
to-
it just needs to be one of our rules.
Resolution.
it has to be an
It has
ordinance.
to be something
It
that
has
just
to be an
says,
ordinance
An ordinance, okay.
and
and it probably should be
go
posted.
with the rate.
It's a rate thing, so there probably has to be public meetings.
Well, you have a minimum bill already.
Right.
You can enforce that, but the thing with the landlords is. She had an offline agreement with.
Right,
one
I think
person.
it's explicitly making freeholders
But
are
not with
responsible
me.
for the
Well-
minimum bill.
You're not.
Okay, but-
Every connection. So the tenant pays because the lease says, okay, tenant, you're gonna pay all of the utilities here. The state says metered services cannot be billed to the landlord.
They changed it.
Metered services cannot be billed to a landlord. stormwater can, so I try to keep that on a different account number that the landlords pay directly. It doesn't go through the tenants if I can avoid it. Sewer can be leaned to the landlord under certain conditions. And we have to get better in the office. I'll be working with Linda to get to that point. But your metered water and tax is not legal to bill that to the landlord.
So who would, that's where you have to do an ordinance.
Yeah. Well,
That-
no, it's illegal. It's illegal to do it. So what you have is, you have a higher, right now, your deposit is enough for most minimum bills, 2 to 3, almost 3 months.
What is our minimum bill?
21, 28 or something like that, and $1.50 tax.
Hmm.
So you can get it through.
That's
your
hardly
deposit,
enough,
but
is
then
it?
we have to
It's not
stay
very
on
much.
it and not let people get $400 behind.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
the-
bill. And so we're working
They're
on that
gonna
in
be-
here. We're working on that in here.
But you say we can't invoice a metered thing to the landlord,
That trustee
But-
is,
but if,
that trustee is.
Well,
but he's storm, she
If-
just
if
said,
it
he
is-
doesn't have,
That's it. He doesn't have water or sewer.
he doesn't, he has sewer. They have sewer, but I don't think, they have well water, so they don't have, they only, in Clarksville, they only have sewer.
okay.
They don't have water,
So I guess I'll have to look at
so
the
they have a
state
flat,
code to see what it says.
Flat fee.
see what
they
our
have a flat
options
fee.
are.
Okay.
They have a flat fee, but I guess I'd have to understand. If a tenant moves out and say they owe us $150. That still is the responsibility of the landlord, whether you bill him or not. Oh, I think
No, it's-
so.
I would go back, it's the user, landlord didn't use that.
About 3 years ago.
No, but it's his property.
It's his property.
No, but the state law changed that, so
They did, there was a group.
it's one of those landlord
There was
friendly
a group
laws.
of representatives who were landlords, and they got together and passed a bill that said,
Hurt us.
and the clerks in the small towns came unglued because of all the people that just skip.
Yep.
And leave them stuck with a couple $100 in utility bills that adds up, and landlords don't have to pay the metered. service.
But is a landlord by law the same as a freeholder?
The land,
Okay,
the
okay,
landlord
Yeah.
is if they're part of,
yeah,
We
exactly.
work with management companies, but it's still the landlord freeholder, not the landlord management company.
Right,
It's
that's the
freeholder.
question
He's the
is-
The
freeholder,
freeholder that owns, their name's on the deed, they're the ones that pay the lien.
so,
Right, so that's the thing is. Because we're not, we're sort of utility, but also because we have freeholders. I guess we'd have to look at the law to see what it says about freeholders
That's the Conservancy. you mean.
as the Conservancy, because. I mean,
Now, that's a $450
That's a great line.
question.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and it's gonna cost money to have someone
Yeah.
look at that. But I think we're not billing the landlord, we're
Maybe
making,
we should raise the minimum.
yes.
well, I think we're gonna need to
You
raise
did,
them.
It's $60,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, what is-
I mean, you
Yeah.
said minimum bill,
So that's
Yeah.
60.
minimum
Yeah.
by the
bill.
time,
And
by the
it's
time
legal.
you get to
That's
the
what-
bill, by
that's
the
what I
time I
think.
do a
Yeah,
shut
that's
off
what
or
we
a
said,
month or so,
Yeah,
It's a
it's
couple
gotta
months,
be a month and a half.
that could be anywhere from 100 to 400.
So there's
How many
only
people?
2 months.
Yeah,
Now, you're only talking minimum bill, but typically the ones that I've been tagging are 287.
Does that water, does that combine?
More men in sewage in there too, right?
That's not just water.
I
That's-
don't know.
That's the whole.
Yeah.
You're
That's the
right.
whole.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
to-
Two hundred eighty-seven divided in third.
about little more than a third, but yeah, you're talking, yeah,
So the things that you
Still
can
chunk.
do are.
still money.
People that have been habitually late with their payment, or if they've been in delinquent, like shut off status or delinquent status. You can create another layer of deposit for them. based on their usage. So you could say you need to keep the deposit equal to 2 months of your typical bill.
Well,
And, but you can't single people out for, I don't think you can single them out for if they're an owner or a tenant, but you can work with them based on their ability to pay or their habits of paying.
Well, we should just make that, that the deposit is 2 months minimum.
We can't know $120. You can't know if they're-
Well, when you first sign up, you don't know how much the bill's gonna be.
Yeah, but if you're just doing it for the minimum, $120, at least you got something.
Right.
I mean, you got something if they.
Well, that's something for the minimum bill committee to.
Well, that's exactly why I brought it up.
Yeah,
Jim,
yeah.
that's got your name all over. it.
Yeah, me and Rick and Chad and
Yeah.
Joe.
All right,
Oh,
guys,
but
let's-
Chad
Okay,
again.
sorry.
No,
I
no.
didn't
Well, it's good to
get off
know. I mean, in
YouTube.
terms of, for us, we have different rules than the town
Yeah,
for bill.
sewage and water have different, yeah.
yeah.
But I'd say, cause actually it'd be worth looking at. Even as a layman to see what it says about freeholders versus landlords. And it might cost us a couple grand, huh?
I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, actually, I think it's something we should look into just to see. We may not be able to make them the billing, but we could lean again, put a lien.
Once they owe money, you can take their deposit to pay.
Yeah.
And then there's a brand new deposit that can be.
Right,
Yeah,
but that's also separate from the
time.
freeholder
Yeah,
from the
the-
tenant.
The rate ordinance says your deposit goes up as your number of defaults increases, then
It's in
then we can do
the
that.
state status of DNR, so already got it in there.
Oh, that you can increase deposit based upon delinquency?
Yeah, because they are a known
They're
habitual.
Habitual.
Habitual. They're known.
It's just you're delinquent enough.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it is a financial risk.
Yeah.
That.
But the gas company already nailed you, right, Ron?
All right.
Okay.
Do we, obviously Ed is not here.
Yeah, I'm kind
Yeah,
of.
where's,
Wait,
we don't have
where's
anything
Ed?
on
He could-
the
he could get
gallery.
a new battery.
And before we get to that, is this just this
That's just
for our
informational.
information?
Well, at the last meeting.
We talked about it,
talked
yeah.
about,
Yeah,
Okay.
tabling it until today and. so-
Good. Yeah, it's what
As
we
long as
voted on.
everybody's in agreement and you don't have to change it, then we've got to establish the guidelines for when you can be paid
Yeah,
for
I
a
mean-
meeting that you attend virtually.
yes.
Yeah, I said the biggest thing is that you have to be seen and heard to be a voting member,
Yeah,
assuming you can vote.
Yes.
To the meeting.
And there's a limitation of how many you can be remote on.
right.
There's another thing I need to ask you about. Different topic.
Oh, do we have anybody in galleries, or do we have any guest comments?
Just Georgia.
All right, what did you want to ask?
As agreed,
Yeah.
before I ordered these chairs, I said, town only needs 5, I'm gonna get more than that.
Yeah.
So that you've got 8 for your 7 directors and Dan. So we got 8 chairs and was hoping that you would approve to pay for 2 of them, that would be $340.
Sure.
I'll make a devotion. We paid for 2 of the chairs.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by David, a second by Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Because there are a lot more coming.
Yeah. They actually work.
Yeah.
Best.
And we, the other 2 were because of us.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even notice they were doing. Till Georgia mentioned it.
Oh, no, I.
No, I did too.
I-
No, no.
Yeah, I did
That's worried
too.
about going over backwards, right?
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else by anyone?
Just a general comment, if you haven't seen the signs went up on Ninth Street, that the bridge is closing.
When?
Which
In the
bridge?
month. Ninth Street Bridge over the river.
So the
Oh,
inner
oh, okay. They're
Davis
finally
Ferry,
gonna fix the damn thing, huh?
Davis Ferry Bridge.
when will, all summer?
2 years. Off and on for 2 years.
It's gonna be closed for 2 years,
That's what,
both lanes, I mean.
the whole bridge. yeah.
So you guys go around.
But 29. Holy.
See,
Or near the
you
sun.
still have both the Davis Ferry Bridge and the 225 bridge open at the same time.
They're both closed.
They're both gonna be. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be in phases, we haven't got a formal answer out of that.
They
But-
gotta take the deck.
Yeah,
But they're taking the whole deck out and redoing everything, so that part of it, it's gonna be closed for a long time.
that's gonna be a while, yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's good, cause like, yeah, that one seam joint has been awful for years.
yeah, Well, there's a big metal plate on it,
I think.
but there's probably nothing underneath it, that would.
Yeah, I am too. I'm right now, I'm mentally thinking, how am I
The
gonna?
other way.
I don't want to call from River Road or 600.
Well.
So, just for information.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do I have a motion to
I
adjourn?
moved to adjourn.
I have a motion by Joe. All those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Who seconded? Did you second?
Thank you all.
I'll second. it.
Ron.
Appreciate it. George.
Motion by
Thank you.
Joe.
Anybody?
Second by
Can't
Ron.
speak loud.
I heard him.
You just didn't hear it.
All righty.
Off the record, somebody needs to check on Ed. It's not like him to miss